And I'll never forget that stupid, if you are watching this, I still don't like you. Okay. Okay, this one's going to be hard. And I feel like I should make it really, really short because I feel like no one's going to take the time to understand where I'm coming from or actually hear what I'm trying to say. And it's going to be taken out of context and it's going to be twisted up. But this is a genuine question that I have. And I think that of all the questions I have about like how to be friends with white people, black people, certain political beliefs, certain religious, whatever, I feel like this one is the most real, you know? This one is the one that is actually very, very challenging. I'm not political. I have too much trauma. My brain's not all right. Okay. I'm working on it, but it's not all right now. So I am unable to participate in social stuff. That means that it may be challenging for me to be friends with people in the LGBTQIA ? Community, because it seems as if you're not in the community, that the only way to be a part of it is through allyship. And allyship is being like, it's very specific, like specific requirements, or else it's not enough. And much like Black people have decided to say who can actually come to the cookout versus who just gets a plate versus who can't come at all versus who don't even need to know it's a cookout because watch them. I feel like before we got there, I feel like this has been for us like a 2020 thing. Like we just fed up. But before we got there, that was already happening in the gay community. The gay community, I think it was like when it was like, we ain't gonna make you no cake. It's like, oh, you're not gonna make us no cake? Bet. We gonna make our own cakes and we ain't gonna make you cakes. And it was kind of like, okay. But I'm gonna be honest, I've had this question, and it's not just for LGBTQIA+. It's not just for the gay community. Can you say that? See, I don't know. And I feel like I have to know, but then everybody tells me different stuff, so I don't know. Anyways, because the gay community would just be the G's. So right? You get it. I grew up around gays, so I have a whole language that I would say. Like my mom's girlfriend was gay when I was a kid, so like my mom's bisexual. I have family members that are pan, demi, like so. I'm like. I didn't realize that the words that I say could be so destructive and you know what I mean? What was my point? What was I talking about? See, I'm so nervous about this video. I believe what I was talking about is that I noticed before even 2020, when all the like love is love, no it's not stuff was happening real strong. Before the transgender identity became what it is now, there was this question of why are we as gays acting like the straights? And I believe the video was of a guy who, he was beautiful, by the way. I'll never forget him. Bone structure. Beautiful hair. He was basically just saying like, why is it that we have to have all these norms in our side of society where it's like, where people will ask the questions of who's the boy and not who's the boy. It's more who's the husband, who's the wife type thing. Like, why are we even doing that? Which I'll admit, I actually believe there's this book called The Way of the Superior Man. And it's like feminine and masculine and how like these things could be embodied by different people. So I believe like, even if someone in the community chooses to feel feminine and wants someone masculine, like, is that so bad? But then I think that was the whole point of the person's question was like, why do we hold ourselves to that? So I remember that from like a long time ago, because I think I saw it on Instagram or something I don't know. But I remember this question. And I also remember kind of this feeling of, you know what, if they won't accept us, we don't need them. And that started to grow. And then it was like, I found out, and this was the weirdest part. I was trying to support someone who was gay. And also I really liked their art. And so I wanted to commission them. And I'm actually mean, like, not like, oh, like, can I buy some of your stuff? Or like, can I barter with you? Like, if I commission someone, I expect to pay them well. That's just what it is. And they told me that they don't make art for straight people. And I was like, oh. It was like at least 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, oh. And I didn't know that was happening. And so honestly, that was just whatever, because it wasn't even that serious. Like I ended up, I think, working with another artist anyways. It wasn't something where I was like, this gay person taking a stand ruined my life. Like it was just like, oh. And ever since then, I've realized like gay people have taken on the language of the oppressor in some cases. Black people have taken on the language of the oppressor in some cases. All these different groups are taking on the language of the oppressor as a way to overcome the oppressor, but it's just causing more division. That's my view of it, being someone from the outside, kind of looking around like, guys, this isn't sustainable. Like, that's just how I've seen things. And so how do I make friends with gay people if I'm not going to look like a strong enough ally? if like politics matters more than my heart and like just being a good friend, which I thought was enough, but it's not enough anymore. Being a good friend is not enough when, there's politics involved. And I haven't seen this happen for myself, but working with clients across the globe for the past 7 years, do you know how many people broke up with people or stopped being friends with people or are no longer, close with their family because of politics and all the stuff that's happened in the last 5 years, 10 years, It's like more prevalent than I think we understand. And we're not talking about what that trauma is doing to us as a society. And so for me, it is a little bit confusing when it's like, wait a minute, so they didn't want to make you a cake and now you're not going to make them a cake, but then I gotta be included. And it's like, you know what? Cool. Fine. I'll find somewhere. But how am I supposed to support you? Or why would I want to go support someone who won't make you a fucking cake? I don't even eat cake like that. This is not about the cake. I think that my real point or my question here is like, I'm not enough for you, right? Or am I? And that's just like the mainstream or some people, like not all people in the community feel that way towards like the straights, or is it like solidarity? No, the straights. Like, I don't even know, bro. And I know that my lens is like the cis heteronormative female, assigned female at birth. And it's like, dang. But even in running my ministry all these years, there would be people who would come in and be upset that like I wasn't speaking enough to the gay experience within my niche. But then if I tried to, people would be like, stay in your lane. You don't know what you're doing. And I'd be like, you're right. I don't even know if this is right or not. I'm just imagining from the most surface level understanding that I have that this might be what you go through. It's the best I can do. But I've always tried to make sure that instead of saying he and she, I just started saying they, like years ago. Like I've really been trying to just be open and accepting and loving and to provide as much as I can. But I'm gonna be real with you. None of that was like, I'm not doing it to gain anything. I'm just doing it because I know that that's what's going to make certain people feel more comfortable. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of person I am. I care. I want people to be happy and feel at peace and not feel like they can't breathe when they're talking to me. And so I've realized that I don't think I'll ever have a gay friend if this is the way the world's going. Well, I guess I should say not again, because I've had gay friends in the past, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to try to make gay friends. Is that just because I've been chronically online? The fastest way I can tell this story, I had somebody who, there was actually two people. Both of them were working at the nonprofit that I was working at as interns. And one of them was a straight Latina. Okay. And so me and her connected and I helped her the exact same way that I intended to help him, a gay white guy. Me and her were so close. It was very nice. She was going through a lot. I was helping her through like breakups and all kinds of different stuff as she was finishing college. And it was just a really lovely friendship. And then there was the same thing I had with this guy where I think it really bothered him that I was a Christian. But the thing is, I grew up with an atheist uncle who would like pick fights with me. And so I don't evangelize already. But I really don't like to argue about religion. Again, I can't. You see my whole demeanor is like, I don't want this, And so I don't really talk about my religion like that. But it was almost like everything about me triggered him. But do you know why? They put him through fucking conversion therapy. So of course, he's going to feel that way. In fact, his story, it informed me and it helps me to treat people who don't necessarily align or even absolutely hate religion with the respect and dignity that they deserve, because I can understand that someone out there, some person made you like this and then blamed God. No, they were probably a piece of shit. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So this guy, I felt like he was trying to convert me, not even to gay, but like he didn't want me to believe in God. And I always would kind of just be like, why do we have to talk about this? You know what I mean? Like, and it was just like, well, because you hate me or something. And it was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I even invited him over to my house, like, which I'm not saying like I had a gay in my house. I'm saying like, I don't let people in my house. You'll find that that's a very common thing with me. Don't come over here. Don't knock on my door. No. And so it's like, I have these memories of like loving this kid, like just loving him and wanting him to feel the freedom that I think he does. I think he lives in New York now and he's like, yes, he's doing his thing. So I'm pretty sure he's happy. I think he has that now. But like, I still don't know what I did wrong. I feel very strongly to this day that he wanted to put hate onto me that I didn't feel towards him, and then still hang out with me and stuff. You know what I mean? And I think what was really happening is in his community, he was able to speak freely about the straights and, Christians and da-da-da-da-da. And so when he would accidentally slip up and say that stuff around me, then he would feel guilty. And so it's like, to stop me from feeling guilty, can you just not be Christian anymore? Because I want to be your friend. That's I think was happening. And so towards the end of our friendship, I was moving and he gave me a book. I love books. I'm very serious about books. In fact, I was taught by another serious book lover, never let anyone borrow a book from you. I learned the hard way because someone stole one of my original editions of a book that I now have like the second copy, but I'm missing like, ugh. And I'll never forget that stupid, if you are watching this, I still don't like you. Okay. Anywho, so he didn't say to me, I got you a present. He didn't wrap it. He just said, you need to read this book. So he gives me this book, and I think it's by like a gay pastor, and he's like talking, I can't remember, honestly. It was like 15 years ago or more, guys. So I'm reading this book, and it kind of just feels like he's trying to teach me not to be hateful, but I grew up around the gays. What are you talking about? I don't understand what's happening. So years passed, and I had gotten him a gift because he had moved to New York, and it was a book about New York and like putting, you know, like it was like a journal / book. It was like, it had facts, but it also had like places where you could go and put your picture to like be like a real New Yorker. I can't explain it, but it was so like, I was so happy, and I did not have a lot of money back then. So for me to even buy that for him, and then as time passed on, for me to even mail it to him was like, I was being genuine. I wasn't trying to be nasty. So I sent him the book. And the book that he didn't say was a gift. He didn't say, I want you to have something. I think this would be really valuable. It was like, I want you to read this. That's it. So I sent it back with the gift years later. Plenty of time to have read it and all, right? And he made some posts on Instagram about me and how hateful I am. I'm not gonna start this right now. But I will never forget pouring in and just loving someone. I didn't try to convert him. I never invited him to church. I never tried to convince him that what was done to him was in good. No, that's evil. Never, ever, ever put somebody through that. Like, I don't play because of what he told me. I don't play about that. To have that person think that just because of my spiritual identity, that means I hate you. Truly, that's how people get radicalized. I could have then hated all the gays because of him, which would be ridiculous. Which means, did I really have love in my heart if I acted like that? But all it really did for me was make me feel like I'm never going to be enough to be in someone's life that has been through the things that he's been through. And you know what? That's okay. I wasn't trying to force my friendship onto him. I genuinely, like, there was a third kid. The third kid was actually a volunteer. He had gotten into some trouble, so he was he was there because he had to be. But I think we all went bowling. Like, I took them. I didn't have money, but I would take them. I've literally genuinely my whole life just tried to be fucking nice to people and just be there for people and just meet people where they are. And the truth is, I've had so many experiences and interactions with so many different types of people that I genuinely love most people. Like, I don't have those feelings towards anyone. I can't. I'm multi-ethnic and was raised by all kinds of different people. I am not like most people because of that. But if I'm going to get called hateful because I wear a cross or something, you know what I mean? Like, bro, what are you even talking about? I don't know. The truth is, that was so long ago, he might not even see it like that anymore. But he also might be even deeper entrenched into this idea of like, that somehow the friendship that I was trying to give him was insidious or something. And I don't want to put people through that. I don't want to go through that. So do I just not try to have gay friends? I don't know. But to me, when I think about all the different identities out there, I feel like that is the identity that has a lot, other than I guess Black people and now immigrants, like that is an identity that a lot of people, there's just so much confusion. I don't mean from them, I mean from others, you know? And it's like, can I blame you for wanting to isolate yourself and not want to be around the things that, if you've heard, I did another video where I was talking about like being friends with certain races and then them saying AAVE to me out of nowhere and it making me kind of uncomfortable. It's like, am I going to make you uncomfortable just being my straight self? Probably. I feel like I'm never going to have friends because of stuff like this. I feel like I've missed out on the opportunity to have anything genuine with anybody. This is one of those groups that I'm like, I really don't know what to do. Because long before Black people started the phenotype conversation, long before MAGA was such a huge thing, and now like MAGA and then Christians are like synonymous, and long before all of that, I had a couple gay dudes basically tell me like, fuck you, straight girl. And I'm like, bro, okay, this is really weird because I don't know what I did to you. Actually, I didn't do anything to you. And I understand maybe that you're triggered and your trauma is causing you to lash out like this. But like, I also have trauma. I think I'm undiagnosed autistic, and I've been fucked up about this ever since. And I don't know if that means I should just not bother, or if I should anticipate there's always going to be something offensive about me until I like renounce my Christianity or something. Which, heck, even now, I don't talk about it like that. So it's just like, what's happening? I really don't talk about it now. I really don't. Nowadays, everybody's so freaking crazy. So what do? Do I just give up on the idea of having gay friends? Or do I have to become an ally to my detriment to a point where like I'm super stressed out and overwhelmed? Because here's the truth. And some people aren't going to like this. Until the word half-breed, until the phrase mixed is not seen as like by everybody, and everybody just talks about us while we standing right there in front of them like we ain't human. Until that happens, I'm not active for anybody. In fact, I'm not even going to march for Black folks no more. I'm not marching for nothing. I'm not walking for nothing. I'm not talking about nothing, because no one gives a damn about my existence, and people openly mock. People treat mixed people like we're not fully human. Do y'all not notice that that's happening? But if I bring that up, it's like there's far worse, more important things than you. So frankly, I'm at a point now where it's like, if the only way I could be friends with a group is by being an ally, and I don't do performative, which means I would have to genuinely immerse myself in that and abandon my own stuff, or have people turn around and call me things, but it's okay because everyone says it. I don't know, guys. I already know I'm going to get so much flack for being apolitical, for not being a voter and all this. I'm going to get so many people who are like, you're a bad person. I don't care about your trauma. I don't care that you're terrified of this. It doesn't matter how you feel. You're bad. You know, it's like every single thing that you do against someone's identity, you get that treatment. If that's how I'm going to get treated, and my existence doesn't have anybody trying to back it, and everybody just makes fun of us, and, well, you got certain skin tone or certain hair that's everybody wants, so that means that your life has been good. No one treats you bad. I don't know what you're talking about. You just get to walk around happy. I'm sorry, bro. That's my first allyship. My first allyship, once I decide to get back out there, is going to be for mixed people. Not just even Black and white, just mixed. I think it's needed. So if me refusing to step up on anyone's behalf, because no one steps up for me, makes me someone that can't have any friends, I think I will have no friends then. Because for almost 40 years, I stood by everybody, but no one stood by me. And the moment that it came to put me in the box or pick a side on my behalf, they always treated me like the other, because I was never similar enough. For a community who's been through that to treat me that way, bro, I can't handle it. So what do you think? Is there a place that, like, for people like me, where it's like, I don't want my identity to be the only thing you care about, and can we just be humans together? Is that even possible? And to ask of that in this particular community, is that too far? Is that too much? Is it like, because it's just day to day for them so rough right now that it's like, I'm sorry, I can't participate in that. I don't know. I don't want it to feel like work. I just want it to feel like friendship. And I'm not going to pour into somebody who's going to turn around and be disrespectful because that's what they're used to. And unfortunately, I'm going to be real with y'all. My mom's friend, her best gay friend when I was growing up, was so mean to me. He was so mean to me because my mom was mean to me. I think I have a wound there that I'm only realizing now, like when I've had a couple gay guys be mean to me. Because the truth is, I recently had an interaction with a gay man where he made me feel so good. We was in the club and he was like, look at her. She's wearing the Dollar General version of your outfit. And then he spent the rest of the night riding this lady she did not deserve it. He was so mean, but he was being so nice to me that I was like, oh my gosh, I'll take this. No one's nice to me like this, you know? But then afterwards I was like, damn, he really shouldn't have been riding that girl to her face like that. That was messed up. And so, yeah, man, I guess I got to figure out, like, is it okay to just be friends with someone regardless of if they're gay or straight? And will they be okay with that? You know, will they be okay with us just being cool regardless of that? Or is that asking too much of them? You know, I don't know anymore. This was one of the hardest ones I had to do. I thought that the Black friend video was going to be hard, but this one was really hard because I've always had good relationships with most gay people other than my mom's best friend. Now I haven't had any interactions with pretty much any humans. Like even like my gay clients are cool, but my clients are different. My clients need something from me. It doesn't count. You know, they've seen me on YouTube. They know my life. They know that I have already had the opportunity to prove to them I'm not anything that they think. So does that really count? I don't know. I guess that kind of does count though, right? There is proof. Oh, well, that's nice. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. This video is ridiculously long. I'm probably not going to do the whole video. I'm probably going to have to cut most of this out. And I might have to redo it because sheesh capiche. What are we talking about here? Well, bye.